Would you rather have Devin Booker or Luka Doncic?
I mean, right now, Devin Booker went to the finals. Devin Booker went to the finals.
And Dallas just went to the conference finals last year. Devin Booker just went to the conference. Come on now.
Devin Booker went to the finals. Devin Booker went to the finals. Devin Booker team is at the top.
Did Big Perk have amnesia or bump his head on a wall when he said those words? Well, in case he forgot, let me refresh his memory of what Luka did to his boy, Devin Booker, back in the 2022 playoffs.
Doncic with 16 in the Biombo, doubled inside. Give him a go here in the first half. Stunning. 27-point lead. Down goes Johnson. 3. Luka. Bullseye. Shot clock is down to 4 and a 3 by Luka. Bullseye.
The Suns on the board.
Oh, what a move by Doncic.
In that game, the Slovenian sensation smoked Devin Booker and his entire crew for 35 points on 12 of 19 shooting from the field to go along with 10 rebounds and 4 assists. And although I don't always agree with Stephen A. and his wild takes, I think Perk's co-anchor best summed up what happened in that Game 7 massacre.
Phoenix Suns lost by 33 points in a Game 7. Got clowned at home. And while Devin Booker still got his whole career ahead of him, he just might need his whole career to get people to forget what occurred Sunday night. Get used to seeing this, Phoenix, because this image is going to haunt you.
I mean, in other words, what Stephen was saying was that Luka Doncic just became Booker's daddy in that particular game. But despite that performance and all the crazy stat lines that Luka has been putting up since day one, it seems that Luka Magic is still not getting enough love from the media men like Big Perk. Anyway, Perkins was not the only one who's been criticizing Luka, because Skip Bayless also said some stuff about him even though he hasn't played a single minute in the NBA.
Okay, Doncic at 6'7" will get exposed for all of the inadequacies that Dirk's not a great athlete.
No.
Dirk doesn't have explosive quickness, right?
No.
Dirk isn't physical.
No.
Well, that's what's going to happen to Doncic because he's not going to have the one thing nobody can bother or stop. Right?
Now, obviously, Skip was trying to say that Luka wouldn't thrive as an offensive player since he doesn't have a one-legged fadeaway in his back pocket like Dirk did. Well, just like his failed predictions in the past, Skip got it all wrong with Luka because in his rookie year, Luka shot 42.7% from the field and 32.7% from downtown and averaged 21.2 points a ball game to take home the Rookie of the Year award. And if you compare Dirk's rookie year to Luka's, it is pretty clear who's the better offensive player among the two in their year one in the league. And when Skip said that he didn't have the one-foot fader like Dirk had, he was also dead wrong on that, because Luka has had that in his bag since his rookie year.
Fake? Nope. Fade away.
According to NBA Advanced Stat, Luka shot about 42 turnaround fadeaways in his rookie year, which is a move that is pretty close to the one-legged fadeaway. But to me, his ultimate go-to move, which is his step back, is way more lethal and harder to guard than Dirk's fadeaway, and back in his rookie year, he hit 43.1% of his shots with that move.
He's got 5 fouls. Smith slipped. He found Luka. Luka, late clock. He loves it. Step back, and that's why, baby. They are leaders of the game by 9, and here it is. Step back. Luka. Okay. Step back 3. Oh, and Wiggins on skates.
I mean, it's pretty normal for analysis to make these hit-or-miss kind of predictions, since they don't know what they're dealing with. But some analysts out there are just masking themselves as a pure, genuine hater. Take the case of Rashad Phillips. Now, for those of you who haven't heard the name, Phillips was a former basketball player, so he had some credentials to back up his take. But see, here's the thing. Unlike Luka, Phillips never made it to the NBA and was just a journeyman throughout his basketball career. Anyway, during a one-on-one interview with Chris Broussard, Phillips just ripped Luka right from the get-go with his outrageous analysis, such as this one.
His feet is slower than rush hour traffic. Okay, really slow feet.
Really, that's a problem.
Really slow feet. He struggled with quick defenders. Okay.
Guys defending him.
Oh yeah, guys getting in his pocket, getting after him. Not a great athlete.
You're gonna see that obviously in
every
NBA.
night.
Yeah.
So, Phillips said that Luka's feet are slower than rush hour traffic and there's no chance for him to keep up with some of the best defenders in the league. Well, to refute this major clown, allow me to show an example. With his back against the wall against the Clippers during the playoffs inside the bubble, Luka put up an unforgettable performance against arguably two of the most elite wing defenders in this generation, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I mean, whether it was against the Claw.
He just manages the game so well. Three-pointers up. It's good. Doncic drive. Falling away. Up and in.
Or going up against PG.
Bad play by Luka that time.
On the steal. Doncic takes it away from Paul George. Drives inside. Fake. Shot. Banks it home.
He just schooled them both all the same. And when the game was on the line, Luka just took over to put the final nail in the coffin.
Doncic pulls up. Three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Doncic wins the game at the buzzer!
In Game 4 of their series against the Clippers, Luka dropped 43 points on a bad ankle against Kawhi and PG, along with 17 rebounds and 3 assists to show us that he's unstoppable. And if you take a look at his performance against the Clippers in the playoffs all time, you would see that he pretty much owned them, as he averaged 33.5 points, 9.5 assists, and 8.8 rebounds in all 13 playoff matches. I mean, I have no clue where Phillips got the idea that Luka wouldn't stand a chance against the elite defenders in the NBA, but as you saw right there, he just destroyed PG and Kawhi in the same game. And fast forward this season, there's still no team in the NBA that can figure out a plan on how to stop Luka. I mean, just listen to what Greg Popovich had to say about this.
I wondered about your perspective on him and how he's continued to produce at such a high level despite so many different defensive strategies employed on him nightly now.
Well, that's a great question, but I think it's a great question because none of us has the answer to how he continuously just destroys whatever defense is thrown at him. And I think he must be like underestimated as an athlete. You know, you look at him and he looks like he ate a couple too many donuts sometimes, you know. And you don't think of him as an athlete.
Now, since Pop talked about Luka being a non-conventional athlete, Phillips also touched on this subject and criticized his lack of athleticism.
Athleticism, that's the problem, the lack of athleticism.
Yeah, it doesn't have it.
He shoots it like he do?
No, he don't shoot it like that.
While he's a bit correct on that, Luka is not your typical nuclear athlete who will just explode out of the gym. But saying that Luka doesn't have an athletic bone in his body is just plain wrong. I mean, to counter his argument, just take a look at the following clips.
Down to 8, moves on Nikola, takes it in!
So that you can react before you really have to react. And there's the turning the corner.
Luka, it opens up, he drives a Luka dunk! He would have got teed up too. Doncic knocks it away, gets it on the steal, and he'll throw it. Luka maneuvers away from the closeout.
Well, as for his quote-unquote lack of shooting, as Phillips suggested, Luka has never shot below 40% from the field and 30% from 3 throughout his career, so basically he's a pretty decent shooter overall. And when it comes to effective field goal percentage, he never averaged below 49%, which means that he's far from the bad shooter that Phillips paints him to be. Then aside from that, here's another shoot-from-the-hip kind of take that will make you shake your head.
We tend to over-sensationalize European basketball, okay? There's restrictions that cater to him. You can't have 9 Americans on the floor in Europe.
It sounds like you're saying Luka will not be like a perennial all-star type player.
I don't see that. I don't believe he's a lottery pick.
Not a lottery pick?
No, I don't.
Wow. So I'm not loving what I'm hearing about Luka then.
Now, first Phillips yapped about how people tend to overhype European basketball, which may be true at that time. But when he said that Luka is not all-star material or a lottery pick to say the least, that's just pure crazy talk and buffoonery. I mean, with the exception of his rookie year, Luka was named as an all-star since, and he also racked up 4 All-NBA first-team honors. And before he ever even entered the NBA, Luka was destroying grown men in EuroLeague by winning a championship and being league MVP in the same year at just age 18. So how did Phillips manage to miss this one? Anyway, I'm pretty sure that you're already fed up with his silly takes. But before we move on from this dude, here's the last take he made against Luka, and man, it doesn't get any worse than this.
His NBA comparison is Hedo Turkoglu. I don't see Steve Nash, and I definitely don't see Larry Bird.
Obvious NBA comparison is Hedo Turkoglu. Big guard, crafty handle, great feel for the game, loves the big stage.
I mean no disrespect to Turkoglu. The Turkish vet played 15 seasons in the league and made the Eastern Conference Finals once. But that's about it. And if we're going to take a look at their head-to-head comparison, it's clear as day that Luka is the far better player by a mile. I mean, Luka is playing in just his 6th season in the league. But despite that, he's already far above and beyond Hito in every statistical category, be it in points, rebounds, or assists. And in terms of individual accolades, Luka's growing list of achievements include 4 All-NBA first-team selections, 4 All-Star game appearances, while Hito has nothing to show for it, not even a single one. Anyway, why do you think the media hates Luka so much? Let me know your thoughts on this one by putting your comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this next one on your screen. Go ahead and click it. It's free.